Namaste children, welcome to today's class. We are discussing the quadrilaterals chapter. In the previous session we discussed theorems related to parallelogram and different kinds of quadrilaterals. Today we are going to discuss one more theorem, that is midpoint theorem. Midpoint theorem. It is related to a triangle. The properties of triangles we studied in triangles chapter. Here we are going to discuss one more property of a triangle. What it is. Let us draw a triangle ABC. Let us draw a triangle ABC and let D is the midpoint of AB and E is the midpoint of AC. D and E are midpoints of AB and AC respectively. It means length of AD is equals to length of BD and length of AE is equals to length of EC. Now join the line segment from D to E. Now this line segment DE is parallel to third side BC. It is parallel to third side BC. So the two midpoints of two sides of a triangle, the line segment join, that is DE is parallel to BC. Yes, take the protractor and measure this angle ADE. Angle ADE, you measure and measure angle ABC. This is, you will find both angles are equal. Angle ABC and angle ADE, you will find both are equal. These two angles are equal. Now consider DE and BC are two lines. AB is the transversal. What are these two angles? Yes, they are corresponding angles and we proved them they are equal. We measured, by measuring we proved them they are equal. Now can we say that DE is parallel to BC? DE is parallel to BC. Why? Because of corresponding angles adjacent. So here the corresponding angles are equal. Then DE is parallel to BC. You take any kind of triangle. Here I have taken triangle. You take a right angle triangle. This triangle also. And you take two midpoints of two sides. Let this is A, B, C. D and E are the midpoints of A, B and BC. Join these two, we get a line segment. On this DE, measure this angle. And here on this angle, both will find both the angles are equal. Again they form a pair of corresponding angles for BE and AC, where AB is the transversal and we can say DE is parallel to AC. That is, the line segment joined between two midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. This statement is midpoint theorem. Similarly, measure the length of DE, measure the length of DE and measure the length of BC. Measure the length of BC and we find that DE is half of BC. So measure the length of DE. Suppose DE is 4 centimeters. This will get it will be 8 centimeters. So from this what we can say, this DE, this line segment is half of the third side BC. So now what we studied, it is a property related to the triangle. That is, if the two midpoints of two sides of a triangle are joined, then the line segment formed is parallel to the third side. This statement is midpoint theorem. Now we will prove this midpoint theorem. Now, theorem 8.9. The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides. Let's consider this triangle ABC and the two sides AB and AC, whose midpoints are E and F. Whose midpoints are E and F. Now join E to F to get a line segment. This line segment is parallel to the third side here. Which is the third side? BC. So what we have to prove here is EF is parallel to BC. EF is parallel to BC. Yes. How do we prove here this? Given in triangle ABC, E and F are midpoints of AB and AC respectively. AB and AC respectively. AB and AC respectively. It means AE is equals to DE. AE is equals to DE and AF is equals to CF. What we have to prove here is to prove that what we have to prove EF is parallel to BC. When we can say that two lines are parallel, if one pair of corresponding sides are equal, that is intersected by a transversal, then the two lines are parallel. Or one pair of alternate interior angles are equal, then the two lines are parallel. Or if co-interior angles, that is angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, then the two lines are parallel to each other. Now here we need to prove EF is equals to BC. So to prove this we require a small construction. So what is that construction? It is small construction. Through point C, draw a line parallel to AB. Through point C, draw a line or a line segment. Let this point is radius CM is parallel to AB. Here AB is parallel to CM. And produce or extend EF to meet CM at F at D. So produce EF to D which meets CM at D. So what is the construction? It is through point C, draw CM parallel to BA and extend or produce EF to meet CM at D. Now we need to prove. How do we prove this? See here we got a quadrilateral BCDE is a quadrilateral having four sides CD, ED and BE. If we prove this quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then the opposite sides are parallel to each other. That is ED is parallel to BC, but EF is a part of ED. Hence EF is also parallel to BC. Our proof is done. Now how do you prove that it is a parallelogram? So again we use the properties of parallelogram to prove it is a parallelogram. If one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel, then it is a parallelogram. Now you see here, through construction BA is parallel to CM, it means BE is parallel to CD. These two are parallel to each other through construction. Now if you prove BE is equals to CD, that is this pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, then it is a parallelogram. Yes, we need to prove what here is BE is equals to CD. We know BE is equals to AE, it is given because E is the midpoint. Now prove AE is equals to CD. If we prove AE is equals to CD, then CD is equals to what? BE. So to prove these two are equal, we need to prove these two triangles are congruent triangles. Which triangles? Triangle AEF is congruent to triangle CDF. By using the congruent properties we can prove. Now we know AB is parallel to CM and AC is the transversal. So what about these two angles, angle 1 and this two angle 2, are they equal or not? Yes, they are equal, that is alternate interior angles. And we know AF is equals to CF, both are equal, it is given. And what about these two angles? Angle 3 and angle 4. They are equal. Vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. Now, vertically opposite angles. Therefore, angle, side angle, angle, side angle, angle, side angle, ASA congruency. The two triangles are congruent triangles. By CPCT, AB is equals to CD, and we know AB is equals to BE, it is given. Therefore, BE is CD. Hence, BCDE is a parallelogram. Therefore, ED is parallel to BC. EF is a part of ED. That is, EF is also parallel to BC. So, first, what we have to prove? We need to prove that it is a parallelogram. So, to prove that, we need to consider the two triangles. We need to prove the two triangles are congruent triangles. So, it is given AE is equals to BE. It is given. You take this as equation. That is 1, identity 1. As B is the midpoint. Now, AB is parallel to CD, CM, and AC is transversal. Is a transversal line. Therefore, angle 1 is equals to angle 2. That is alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal, and that is AE is equals to EF. EF. It is given in the question. AF is equals to CF. It is given. Now, what about angle 3 and angle 4? Angle 3 is equals to angle 4. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Now consider these two triangles. Which two triangles? In triangle AEF and triangle CDF. Angle 2 is equals to angle 1. Proved above. That is angle. Now AF is equals to CF. Given it is side, and angle 3 is equals to angle 4. Proved above. That is vertically opposite angles. That is angle. Now ASA, angle, side angle. The two triangles are congruent triangles. Therefore, triangle AEF is congruent to triangle CDF by ASA congruency. The two triangles are congruent triangles. Now by CPCT, what we can see here? By CPCT, the first two letters AE is equals to CD. AE is equals to CD by CPCT. And you take this as equation 2. Now we observe equation 1. AE is equals to BE and AE is equals to CD. So from 1 and 2, what we can write? From 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. That is AE is equals to BE and AE is equals to CD. That is BE is equals to CD. BE is equals to CD. Yes, we have proved BE is equals to CD. That is one pair of opposite sides of this quadrilateral are equal, and AD is parallel to CD, CM through construction. That is BE is also parallel to CD. One pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. Therefore, it is a parallelogram. Yes, we will continue here. Now consider the quadrilateral. Now in quadrilateral, continuation in quadrilateral BCDE, in quadrilateral BCDE, BE is equals to CD proved above, and BE is parallel to CD through construction. Therefore, BCDE is a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram. Since one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal. It is a parallelogram. Hence ED is parallel to BC. Opposite sides are parallel. Now ED or DE. EF is a part of ED. Hence, therefore, EF is also parallel to BC. It is also parallel to BC. Hence, it is proved. So here we can prove one note. Yes. And what about the sides AD and BC? ED and BC, they are equal. ED is equals to BC. Again, opposite sides of the parallelogram, they are equal and parallel to each other. But ED is equals to what? EF plus EFD, that is equals to BC. We know from these two triangles EF is equals to DF. EF is equals to DF. Both are equal, or FD both are equal. By CPCT, the two sides are equal. Here you can write another CPCT. It is EF is equals to DF by CPCT. That identity we are using. Therefore, EF plus FD both are equal. EF plus EF is equals to BC. 2EF is equals to BC. Now EF is equals to what? Half of BC. By transposing 2 to RHS divides. EF is equals to half of BC. That is the line segment which is joined is half of the third side. If third side is 4 centimeters, EF will be 2 centimeters. If BC is 6 centimeters, EF will be 12 centimeters. If it is 6 centimeters, this will be 3 centimeters, half of it. Or BC is 2 times EF. That is, EF is 5 centimeters, means BC will be 10 centimeters. Its application. So this is midpoint theorem. So in midpoint theorem, what it states that the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to third side and half of the third side. Like this, we will prove it. Is it clear? Now with its application, we will solve questions from exercise number 8.2. Now see exercise number 8.2. The first question. ABCD is a quadrilateral in which P, Q, R, S are the midpoints of the sides AB, BC, CD and DA. And AC is the diagonal of this quadrilateral. AC is the diagonal. Show that 1. SR is parallel to AC. SR is parallel to AC and SR is half of AC. SR is half of AC. 2. PQ is equals to SR. That is opposite sides of this quadrilateral. And PQRS is a parallelogram. So to prove PQRS is a parallelogram, we need to prove by using the properties of parallelogram. Say how we will prove this. We'll discuss one by one in detail. So now you see here, given what is given here, in this in quadrilateral ABCD, in quadrilateral ABCD, PQR and S are the midpoints of the sides, or the midpoints of what? Midpoints of sides AB, BC, CD and DA. Sides AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Now, what we have to prove here, one by one we will prove. First one, SR is parallel to AC. Consider the triangle ACD. This is I am drawing here the rough diagram A, C and D. This is the triangle ACD. Here R is the midpoint of CD and S is the midpoint of ED or DA. Now you see in this triangle from the given figure I have separated S and R both are midpoints of two sides of triangle ACD. So what we can say from midpoint theorem? The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. That is SR is parallel to AC. And it is also half of the third side, that is SR is half of AC. First one is proved by using the midpoint theorem. So to prove that, what triangle you should consider? Yes, in triangle ACD, S and R are the midpoints of DA and CD, or the midpoints of DA and CD. Therefore, what we can write using the midpoint theorem? SR is parallel to AC. SR is parallel to AC and SR is half of AC. How? By midpoint theorem. By using midpoint theorem. Yes, first one is done. Next we need to prove the second one. What we have to prove? PQ is parallel. So PQ is equals to SR. We have proved SR is half of AC. And if we prove PQ is also half of AC, then can we say that SR is equals to PQ? Yes, we can say that SR is equals to PQ. For that, consider the second triangle, that is ACB. The second triangle. What is that triangle? It is ACB. This triangle, if we consider ABC. In this triangle, P is the midpoint of AB and Q is the midpoint of BC. Join these 2 points. Now what about PQ? PQ will be parallel to AC and PQ is half of AC again by midpoint theorem. So in triangle ABC, P and Q are midpoints of AB and BC respectively. Therefore PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is equals to half of AC. That is, how can we say that? By midpoint theorem. Yes, by midpoint theorem. Now we say this is second equation 2 and this is equation 1. So from 1 and 2, we know SR is half of AC and PQ is half of AC. So from 1 and 2, what we can say? From 1 and 2, we can say PQ is equals to SR. As that RHS half of AC are same, then the LHS SR is equals to PQ. So second one is done. PQ is equals to SR. Then we have to prove the third one. PQRS is a parallelogram. Now consider this quadrilateral PQRS. This quadrilateral. See the first entity. SR is parallel to AC and PQ is also parallel to AC. From 1 and 2, what we can get? PQ is equals to SR as well as PQ is parallel to SR because AC is parallel to two different lines. The line AC is parallel to PQ as well as it is parallel to SR. Two lines are parallel to same line, then the two lines are also parallel. Therefore, PQ is parallel to SR and PQ is equals to SR. Now in quadrilateral PQRS. In quadrilateral PQRS, PQ is equals to RS or SR and PQ is parallel to SR. Therefore, PQRS is a parallelogram. Why it is a parallelogram? Since one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. One pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. Therefore, it is a parallelogram. Like this, we can show these identities by using the midpoint theorem. Is it clear, children?